All right, the person who's on Zoom, if you could start your video. Oh. Yeah, it's Monday. On mute, please.
Oh, I'm so
What
sorry.
is-
I didn't realize I was muted, Your Honor.
That's okay. What is your name?
Tyler Ashbaugh.
All right, Mr. Ashbaugh, while you're in bed on Zoom.
Oh, I'm so sorry, ma'am.
No, that doesn't answer my question. My question is, why are you in bed on Zoom?
I was just waiting to be let into the courtroom, and then I was going to go sit down in my dining room, ma'am.
No, you were not, because you were all relaxed when I asked you who you were, and you were just chilling on the bed. Here's the thing. You have a privilege for appearing on Zoom. You are
Yes,
not
ma'am.
to be in bed. This is not, romper room time or anything of that nature. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you in Bexar County?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So try that again, and your Zoom privileges will be permanently revoked. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. We're waiting for your attorney. I'm going to put you in the waiting room.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. State, are you going to have an objection?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So we're going to go on the record. Court is calling 2023 CR 10004, State of Texas versus Tyler James Ashbaugh. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar from the state of Texas.
Defense?
Leo Gonzalez for Tyler Ashbaugh.
And are you Mr. Ashbaugh?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. The defendant is appearing by Zoom. Any objections to the defendant appearing by Zoom, state?
No, Your Honor.
In defense, I'm assuming you have no objection.
Correct, Your Honor.
All right, we're here on a motion to modify bond conditions. State, have you had a chance to review the defense's motion?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you in objection?
Yes, Your
Any witnesses from either side?
Honor. Your Honor, state would only offer just the prosecution guide in this case,
No objections to that.
All right.
and just for the purposes of this hearing.
All right, thank you.
The defense would call Mr. Ashbaugh, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Ashbaugh, I'm going to need to make sure that you speak up so that the court reporter can hear. If you can raise
Yes,
your
Your
right
Honor.
hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
My name is Tyler Ashbaugh.
All right, defense?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Ashbaugh, you have asked your firm, Donovan Jones, to file a motion on your behalf regarding being able to take your child to school. Is that correct?
Yes.
Can you explain the circumstances that have led to filing that motion?
Excuse me, just 1 second. I'm sorry, if you all could make sure you whisper. All right, you may continue, counsel.
Go ahead, Tyler.
Well, since being on house arrest, it's put a big strain on my family, especially my fiance. She's having to do a lot of work on her own and take my daughter places to appointments and whatnot. And I just want to try to help and, do something for my family, anything for my family, be allowed to contribute something to my family.
What's the hardship you're having in the mornings in regards to drop off and of your daughter?
My wife, she goes to college. She goes to nursing school in the morning extremely early, and sometimes she's unable to take her. So we've had to get other family members involved as well, which is putting a strain on them. They have their own children.
What family members have you had to get? In what way has it put a strain on them?
Her sister now has to take her to school twice during the week in the morning, and we have to wake up more early so she can get dropped off over there at her house, and she has 2 kids of her own.
Now, let me ask you this. What time are you asking the court to allow you to be able to take your daughter to school? And what time are you asking the court to allow you to return?
I'm asking for a window from 6:30 to 7:30, and that's it, because she gets dropped off at 7.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
All right, is this 6:30 a.m. and 7:30 a.m.?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
All right, if y'all will just give me a moment to review this.
Yes, Your Honor.
I just have one question. How old is the child in this case?
Mr. Ashbaugh.
Mr. Ashbaugh, you're
4
still
year-
under
four-
oath. How old is the child?
4 years old, about to turn 5. I have a son on the way as well.
All right, so here's the court's question. I've read the police report and I understand the nature of the report. what is the concern with him dropping the child off? You say the child has to be there by what time?
At 7 o'clock.
What is the current concern with that small window for him to drop the child off and bring the,
Judge, so this was a random shooting. Again, the concern is that due to the nature of it, which is random, these were people that he had no contact with before, as far as we can tell. There was no reason for the act to have happened, so it's just a concern just for the general public safety due to the random nature of the crime.
okay, I understand that, but he's on full house arrest. And how long has he been on full house arrest? How long have you been on full house arrest, Mr. Ashcroft?
Around over 2 years, ma'am.
All right. So from the court's perspective, people cut off monitors every day. They do. But I'm going to allow him to take the 4-year-old because I think that will alleviate any more issues if there are mental health issues involved for him to just drop the daughter off. He's not asking to even do pickup, just to drop her off. And
Yes, ma'am.
that
Thank you
small
so
window-
much, Your Honor.
Sure. And that's, thank you. And that small window is just an hour. So where are you dropping her off to? What's the location?
The School of Science and Technology. It's on Weidner Road.
I'll allow him to drop his child off. And what days are these? Is this just Monday through Friday?
Yes, Your Honor.
Monday through Friday. He's allowed from 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. to transport his child to the School of Science and Technology at 11214 North Weeder Road. All right, let me explain something to you. That means you're just dropping your child off. If you see a McDonald's on your route, which you probably will, you are not allowed to stop at the McDonald's and say, well, it was on the way, so I thought I could do that. The only thing you are allowed to do is take your child to that school and go back home. That is it. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you deviate, what's going to end up happening is I'm going to get a violation report from GPS because GPS is going to track you. And when I get that violation report, guess what? We're going to have a hearing on it and you're going to be required to be in court for that hearing. And I don't want to hear, well, it was on the way, so I figured why not do it? And your attorney, I already know what the argument will be. It was just McDonald's. It was just, whatever. It was just Red Lobster. No, you are only allowed to drop your child off at that school in the morning. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Is there anything else?
No, Your Honor.
No, Judge.
All right. And I think his next court date is March 18th. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Yes. All right. So you're Mr. Ashfall. All right. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. All right. So today is plea deadline date, but I know that you were recently appointed, so I'll give you some more time.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
All right. So we're here on a motion to modify bond conditions. Previously, the court allowed for modification for him to take, I think, his child to school. So defense, what are you asking for at this point in time?
Judge, my client and his fiance, who's here in the courtroom, they would like to get married. They do have a child together. They have another one on the way. They live together. He would like to be able to come to the courthouse to get the marriage certificate. He's already been online and taken a class that allows him to waive the 72-hour period between getting the license and actually getting married. So they could accomplish this all in one trip to the courthouse.
Can they do that today?
I think they would prefer to
He's saying yes.
do that today. Okay.
All right, so
That
that
would be
problem
fine.
is solved. You have any objections? Because he's already hit the courthouse. All right, so problem solved. See, we try to solve problems here.
No.
So what's the next issue?
The other one is he'd like to attend church, Judge, and it's actually a different one from the one that's in the motion that he'd like to attend. The one he would like to attend with his fiance and after today wife would be the Community Bible Church, 2477 North Loop 1604 East.
All right, and what day?
Just every Sundays, and I believe the services are at 11 a.m.
11 a.m. to what?
to, would it be about noon, probably an hour to an hour and a half?
Yes, Your Honor. Plus travel time to about 1 o'clock. It's not too far from my residence.
State.
State's opposed, Judge, just due to the nature of the case, and the state would offer the police report in this case, which is what we were rendering to defense at the start of this hearing.
No objection.
Judge, one thing the state would want to point out is that the offense did occur in a church parking lot. It was after hours. I will give you that, but again, this is safety of the community. We fired on 2 officers who were sitting in their patrol car.
All right. And I understand these are all allegations, so
Right.
just let me read what has been submitted. Is there anything else for me to review or just argument?
Just argument, Judge.
All right. Defense?
Judge, I know that what you've read, that what you just read is a very serious allegation. However, if it becomes necessary, we do look forward to contesting these charges at the appropriate time and place, and that obviously would not be today. But I would also point out that you've allowed Mr. Ashbaugh some small allowances in the past. He's always complied with those perfectly, from my understanding. He's been on GPS full house arrest for, I think, about 2 years at this point, about 1.5 years while the case was pending at intake, and about 6 more months up till now. There, to my understanding, there's been no violations of his pretrial conditions. He's abided by them perfectly, to my understanding. And this is just, I mean, he's been subject to full house arrest, not able to go anywhere for basically a full 2 years at this point. It's just one small concession. I don't see any issue with it, Judge. And we would just ask the court for permission to do this.
All right, and state the court is aware of your concerns. From reading state's exhibits, if I take everything in state's exhibit to be true, for purposes of this hearing, it appears that the allegation has absolutely nothing to do with the location, and the church that he's seeking to attend is actually not that church. Am I correct?
You're not wrong, Judge.
All right. So the court will allow him to attend church if the church is made aware of these charges and the church have no objection. When I say made aware of these charges, what he's charged with and where the incident is alleged to have taken place. And if they come back to the court and they say, we're aware of this and we have no objection to him attending our church, then the court will allow it. All right. Is there anything else?
No, Judge.
All right. So then what we're going to do is we're going to come back here in June. And by June, we should all know where we stand as far as the plea deadline date. So
I believe we're set for pretrial motions this morning, Judge.
Mhm.
From my understanding, one of the, and it might have been various detectives had an emergency, so they're not available this morning. My understanding, Judge, so I don't think that there's any way we would finish this case this week.
Mhm.
My understanding is that there would be a visiting judge the week after that.
yes.
I think we would prefer if there was for continuity's sake, if we could try this in front of you the entire time. And so from my understanding, the state was not opposed to that and they're okay with it. We have picked out a possible date, if that's okay with you, Judge.
All right. And what date would that be?
That would be July 8th.
All right. We'll put it down for July.
Is that fine? Thank you,
Yes.
Judge.
All right. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Judge.
Thank
Your
you.
Honor.